You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, hon.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Valley Neighborhood Forecast. From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Well, those tickets are selling quickly, folks, and there are some days that are actually sold out for the Reading Rodeo for next week. So you need to go online to readingrodeo.com and get your tickets, or you can call the box office at 241-8559, and they can sell some tickets to you as well. But, there's a very good chance that the day you want to go, it may be sold out, so you need to make sure that you get those tickets in early. And by the way, we've got a ticket giveaway here at Weather NorCal. We've got several tickets to give away here that will be starting that giveaway next week. And the entries, all you have to do to enter is email me at mkrueger@weathernorcal.com, or you can go to weathernorcal.com, click on Contact, fill out the form, and push send, and you will be entered for the contest. All right, so here's what we got. Warming trend through Saturday. After today, we do expect Valley to reach the low to mid 90s for those daytime highs. Not quite as warm as initially thought, but still getting warm nonetheless. And maybe eventually looking at some showers by early next week, along with that cooler air that's going to be moving in. We're going to be going most likely from the 90s in the valley on Saturday to the upper 60s to low 70s by next Monday. So quite a drop in those temperatures. But after that, we do have a gradual warming trend with highs near normal near the end of next week. So a bit of a roller coaster ride with those temperatures. And for those of you that just want a quick look at your forecast here for tonight and tomorrow, here's a look at Krueger's Quickcast here for your Wednesday, May 7th. Temperatures tonight dropping down somewhere in the mid-50s, give or take here for the valley. Temperatures 30s and 40s for the mountains. And we've got those mid to upper 40s overnight tonight for the coast. Out the door tomorrow morning, still some fog and some low clouds along the coast. Mainly clear skies, though, elsewhere. Now, temperatures are going to be a bit on the mild side, but generally in the 50s for the eastern mountains, low 60s for the valley by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So you can see the boundary that kind of moved on through here for today. That's going to be moving on out, and we're going to see high pressure build in behind that. So we look at future casts as we go into tonight. There you can still see some of the fog along the coast here for tomorrow morning, but mainly clear skies elsewhere across Northern California. Now through the day on Thursday, we'll probably see a lot of the clouds and the low clouds for the coast kind of dissipate. Maybe some afternoon clouds for some of the higher elevations on Thursday, but clearing out again by Thursday night. So a dry and warmer day tomorrow. We're going to be flirting with, if not reaching that 90-degree mark as early as tomorrow for the valley, 70s and 80s for the higher elevations, and looks like in the upper 50s to even some low 60s for some of those daytime highs for those of you along the coast. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for the valley. As I mentioned, around 90 by tomorrow, low 90s by Friday, Saturday. There's that dip in the temperatures by Mother's Day. Slight chance for showers, but significantly cooler on Monday. And then temperatures gradually but slowly increasing as we go through next week. Coast, inland, and for Trinity County, we may see some showers as early as Sunday, better chances Monday, and possibly into Tuesday. And also that gradual increase in the temperatures through next week. Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, still keeping the chance for showers on Monday for most of the mountains here, although places like Siskiyou County could see a slight chance for some showers by late in the day Sunday, but again, those better chances coming in Sunday night and into Monday as well. That's a look at Krueger's Quickcast. You want to remind you there's a free Weather NorCal app. Just search for Weather NorCal in the App Store. Make sure there's a space between Weather and NorCal. Download the app for free. You're going to like what you see, folks, because it's everything you need right there on your phone, and it's a hyper local to Northern California forecast. All right, so let's take a look at the satellite image again. We're seeing that those clouds that kind of pushed on through today, but overall I do expect drier and warmer conditions for tomorrow. And even some of the morning fog that we do see along the coast here for tomorrow morning, that should burn off by the afternoon. Speaking of the afternoon, maybe some afternoon clouds for some of the higher elevations, but mainly remaining dry. And then looks like for Friday morning, that fog returns to the coast. Friday afternoon, that fog may stick around for the coast with some afternoon clouds in the mountains in particular, but still dry for your Friday and, of course, for your Saturday, too. Let's take a look at the big picture here and the long-range forecast. See the swirling area of low pressure? This right here is a trough of low pressure. It's got colder air associated with it. We'll get into that a little bit later. But this right here is the wet weather that's associated with it. So as early as Sunday, I think the coast, maybe even Siskiyou County, could see some light showers for Sunday. But by Sunday night into Monday, that area of low pressure then pretty much moves overhead, and that's when we see a chance for showers for everyone. I don't expect this to be a ton of rainfall, but the most amount of rainfall will be for the coast and the higher elevations. Now, once we get into Tuesday, that area of low pressure will start to shift off to the east, and chances for showers do diminish after Monday, Tuesday. But you can see these weak systems kind of approaching Northern California, and that could bring us a chance for some mountain showers off and on for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday into that next weekend. But overall, I expect the valley to remain dry because that's obviously the big concern. We've got the Redding Rodeo starting next Wednesday. The question is, will it be dry for all of those events, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that Saturday? At this point, yes, I think we're going to see dry conditions. But you look at this, you see a big blob of green here from May 13th through the 17th, and you're like, wow, look at all the rain that we've got from Northern California. Keep in mind, this is not an indication of how much rain we're going to see, but what it is it says, hey, listen, there is a pretty decent chance of seeing above normal rainfall, but not during this entire time frame. Within this time frame, you've got that. And here's what I'm expecting, that the best chances for rain and measurable rainfall will be Sunday night through the day on Monday. So these totals that you see here are mainly for that time frame. Now, it includes Tuesday as well, but that rain won't start until Sunday afternoon, Monday, and then maybe some showers for some of the mountains on Tuesday. But I think this model might be overdoing it, but you get the idea. You see the blues here indicating an inch and even over an inch. These colors here indicating, close to 2 inches of rain. Again, I think it's overdoing it. For the valley, I think this is also overdoing it, quite honestly, especially for the north end of the valley where it's showing close to 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. But I still think there could be some measurable rainfall for parts of the valley for Monday, but by Tuesday it should dry out and most of it will be in the higher elevations. So you can see the most amount of rainfall is in the coast, for the mountains, for the foothills east of the valley, and then not as much rainfall for places in the eastern mountains here. All right, so temperatures now. Look at this. Again, you look at this, wow, it's going to be cold out there. No, but what this is saying is you take our normal temperature, what are our chances of seeing below normal temperatures? And they're looking pretty good as we go through next week. And you can clearly see that. There's the warmer air. There's the warming trend for the next couple of days as a high pressure actually centered off to our east, but it does spill over into Northern California. And this is the low 90s we do expect in the valley for your Friday and Saturday. This cooler air, this moves on in, and that's when we see that big drop. I think many in the valley by Monday and even Tuesday may struggle to get out of the 60s, believe it or not. But it probably somewhere around 70, give or take, here for Monday, Tuesday. That cooler air moves out, but then we get another shot of cooler air coming in from the Gulf of Alaska near the middle and latter part of next week. This will basically just keep our temperatures at bay. This is not quite as cool as this pocket of cooler air, so probably closer to the mid to even upper 70s and eventually some low 80s by the time we get into the end of next week. In fact, you can see that long-range trend here, 10 days for Redding. Temperatures low 90s by Friday, Saturday, big drop. See how I said struggling to get out of the 60s by Monday, Tuesday, and then just gradually ticking back upward as we go through next week, but most likely not that much higher than normal for this time of the year. So we take a look at the wave heights. They're not going to be changing much here as we take you into your Thursday. Actually start showing signs a little bit of retreating on Friday, but not much going on there. No small craft advisories. Shouldn't really be any issues if you need to be on a small boat. So as you saw earlier, temperatures mid, maybe some upper 50s for the valley, 30s and 40s for the higher elevations, and somewhere in the mid 40s overnight for the coast. So Trinity County for your Thursday. Temperatures mainly in the 80s, south of Highway 299, temperatures in the 70s. Dry through Saturday, maybe a chance for showers by Sunday for Trinity County. For the North Coast, inland and the coast, seeing chances for showers as early as Sunday, and then more coming in on Monday as well. Up north, 73 for Gasquet tomorrow, 77 degrees for Orleans, Hoopa 80, and Willow Creek about 82 degrees. For Siskiyou County, now again, I've got you dry even on Sunday. However, we're going to have to watch that potential for some of that coming into parts of central and western Siskiyou County by Sunday. We'll see, but the better chances will be here by Monday and into Tuesday. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, temperatures mainly in the 70s there. 76 for Alturas, 77 degrees for Eagleville, and 76 degrees in Tule Lake. Dry all weekend, chance for rain coming in on Monday. All right, your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Also dry through Sunday. Chances for showers coming in by Monday, Tuesday. Otherwise, for your Thursday, temperatures mainly in the 70s, some of the warmer spots in the low 80s. Your Valley neighborhood forecast, looking to the south here. Temperatures upper 80s. Some of us could touch 90. Low 90s for Friday, Saturday. Big dip in those temperatures. Maybe some showers for the valley on Monday, but don't expect much. All right, here's your 7-day forecast for Chico. You're going to be mainly dry and warm through at least Saturday. Temperatures start to drop, but still dry on Sunday. Low 80s for Mother's Day. Now, I will say this. Chances for rain diminish the farther south you go in the valley. So Chico, smaller chance for rain than, say, places like Redding on Monday. There's a look at your forecast up to the north. Again, we're splitting hairs, right? 89, 90. Certainly not out of the question for anyone in the valley tomorrow. Temperatures low to even some mid-80s for around Lakehead and out towards Whiskeytown. And taking a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding. Temperatures in the low 90s for your Friday and Saturday. Mother's Day, a high of 81. Chance for showers on Monday, with temperatures in the upper 60s, around 72 by the time you get into Monday, Tuesday, mid-70s by Wednesday of next week. That is your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock and live on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have a great night.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.
Redding Rodeo returns May 14th through the 17th with 4 big nights of rodeo action. Bulls, barrels, broncs, and big-time thrill. We even added breakaway roping. Get your tickets now at ReddingRodeo.com. The Redding Rodeo. 4 nights of rodeo excitement and fun for the whole family. Redding Rodeo, May 14th through the 17th. Get your tickets now at ReddingRodeo.com.
You're watching Weather NorCal.
Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger.
And I'm Sadie Krueger.
And this is your NorCal Ag Report sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. So where are we today, Sadie?
We are at Serendipity Farms.
Serendipity Farms. And we usually talk to the owner of the farms, but what happened?
Yes. So Tammy Miller, she's the owner. She's amazing. And she said she didn't really want to be on camera. And I said, no problem. We'll do the interview off camera, and then Mike and I will tell you all about this amazing farm and all the things that you can do and pick here.
So it seems like the name is pretty fitting here, Serendipity, and everything's great. We've got so many things here. We could talk about, when I was asking her what type of things that she offers, it just seemed like the list kept going and going and going.
Yes.
And really, quite honestly, I mean, we could try to, off of memory, talk about some of the things. So what are some of the things that we can kind of remember?
Okay, so I love peaches.
Yeah.
So right now it's peach season. We can also pick nectarines right now. We can get thornless boysenberries.
Okay, so you talk about thornless. What's the difference between thornless and thorned?
Well, it's just that they have thorns. So I love to pick berries, and when I go out in nature, you know, sometimes you come back and you're bleeding and, you know, stained, and it's an adventure. But here, it almost feels like cheating, where you just go pick these, you know, berries that are so fresh right off the vine and thornless.
All right, so it was the peaches, the nectarines, the thornless boysenberries, and figs, right?
Figs,
So they've got the figs. So if you were to come out here today, those are the 4 things you'd be able to pick right now. So the way it works is this, and we'll kind of go into some of the other things that they have, but you come to the farm, and then you walk down, from where you park, you walk down kind of through an orchard. And then you'll find the owner, right? And she will give you all kinds of directions. And here's the beauty of it. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know what you're really doing, quite honestly, because she will guide you 100% of the way to let you know what to look for, how to do it, all of that stuff. And you actually became prepared. What are some of the other things that you need if you come out?
Okay, so some pro tips, you know, it does help to be prepared. There is a recording, so you can call Serendipity Farms and she'll walk you through all of this, what you need. But after coming here, I've kind of got it down to a few things that I really like. So some kind of bucket. I like to have a bucket with a lid on it, and it happens to fit in my basket that I can then put on. So pro tip, I've got my bucket. Hands-free, love it. Okay, then these are just some empty containers that I have, that I've saved. And so the peaches fit perfectly upside down.
Just like when you're at the farmer's market, a lot of times it's like that. So
yeah, so it's just a great way to keep them from not getting smashed. And If you don't want to get your hands dirty when you're picking boysenberries, you can bring some little gloves, and then bring cash. And she does recommend an extra 20. Sometimes it's hard to gauge what the weight of your peaches are or your fruit, so come prepared.
Because I don't think she accepts credit cards or anything like that, so you want to make sure you have the cash.
Yes, it is hot, it's sunny, you're in the element, so a hat, some comfortable shoes, and some bottled water.
Excellent.
Sunscreen if you're sensitive.
So we were kind of talking about this earlier. There are some fun stories that we have, some personal stories. So we were walking out here and we were thinking about one of our first trips together. We went to, well, it was kind of the Ashland area, and it was the peach orchards. So that was kind of a nice little memory for us.
Yes. Yeah, he was a good sport. He carried my peaches as I
It was fun.
picked them, yeah.
But your grandma, right? Didn't she?
Oh, I've been coming here with my grandmother. So this farm has been around for over 50 years. So my grandmother passed a few years ago at 96. So she'd been coming out here for over 30 years. It was just one of those mainstays where you could get a lug of peaches, you know, and can them. You can also get seconds, a little discounted pricing. So yeah, so this farm has been around for over 50 years. Been coming here with my grandmother.
That's awesome.
And as a fun thing that she shared, that the farm was started over 50 years ago by her mother-in-law, father-in-law, and husband. And he was a retired firefighter from the Bay Area, and his dream was to have a peach orchard. So he came up here and started this peach orchard.
And that's what's cool about it, because it started off as peaches, and then it expanded into, again, there's a whole list of other things. Can you remember some of the things? I mean,
So they've got, besides the thornless boysenberry, they're kiwis even, which that's not until Thanksgiving. There's cherries, which start Mother's Day. That kind of kicks off the season. There are persimmons, 2 different kinds, plums, 5 different kinds. Like I said, the apples, it just keeps going. She even has eggs.
Yeah, they got chickens roaming around.
They were out already, so you do have to come early to get the eggs.
And don't step on the eggs. No, just kidding.
And she does have a dog and chickens, so please leave your dogs at home.
Yeah, and the reason she doesn't want you to bring your dogs, because there are chickens roaming around, there's other things, and so the dogs will be chasing, like our dog would be chasing everything
and
roaming
her
around
sheep.
here. And the sheep, all of that. So really overall, Serendipity Farm, it's an amazing place. This is the first time I've been here. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's great to see all the peaches out here that we can pick. You are gonna stick around and you're gonna actually do some, you got all the gear, so might as well do it. And you're gonna do some, what are some of the things that you're looking to pick today?
So today I'm going to pick some peaches, I'm going to get some nectarines, I might get a few of the thornless boysenberries even though I have some. I just would like a handful that I can have fresh, and then I have to get some figs.
Got to get the figs.
I love figs, so I'm getting everything.
Got to get this. So she's getting everything that can be offered. So come on down here. What we'll do also is we will try to, try to figure out a way so you can very easily, but we'll at least have a phone number for you on the screen so you know where to call, who to call, and then of course some directions on how to get here, because there's a little bit out of the way, but it's really not too far out of the Reading area, so it shouldn't be all that bad. Anything else you can think of?
No, but again, these are some pro tips to make your experience awesome, so I'm sure you're going to love it. So come out and happy picking. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time for another edition of NorCal Ag, sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery.
Caltrans is doing the best that they can with the amount of people and the amount of equipment they have, and they're out there trying to keep the roads safe and trying to keep everybody running, because if the roads shut down, truck drivers that are paid by the miles aren't making any money. So we want everybody to put chains on for the safety of themselves and the safety of the public. It's not worth it to drive without chains.
This May, get active with the Shasta Bike Month and Challenge. For both beginner and experienced cyclists, you can ride anywhere, anytime during the month of May. Whether it's to work, the store, or a leisurely spin on a trail, every ride counts. Join the challenge and log your rides with the Love to Ride platform. Compete as a team of coworkers, friends, or family. Every bike ride you take earns you chances to win local prizes. Sign up today at ShastaBikeChallenge.org.
from the Weather NorCal Command Center. This is your morning update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Well, good morning, everyone. You know, the Reading Rodeo tickets, they are selling fast, folks. Go to readingrodeo.com, see what tickets are available, and grab them while you can. You can also call the box office at area code 530-241-8559, and they can also tell you what tickets are available. As I mentioned, if you can get those tickets, you may want to buy them right away because they're selling out pretty quickly here. And you may press your luck and you can enter a ticket giveaway. I've got several sets of 2 tickets to give away, and we're going to be doing that early next week. You can email your entries to mkrueger@weathernorcal.com or just go to weathernorcal.com, click on Contact, fill out the form, rodeo tickets, whatever, put your name in there. That's the important part, your name, so we know when we draw the name, we have a name there, right? So yeah, do that today. I mean, because we have got those tickets going fast. All right, we got a warming trend through Saturday. You're going to notice some warmer temperatures today. They're going to peak around Friday, Saturday, with the valley getting the low, maybe some mid-90s. That might be pushing it, though, as far as the mid-90s are concerned. Much cooler, chance for showers by next week. And it looks like now Monday is really the day. That day we'll see the coolest temperatures, the best chance for rain across the board, and then a gradual warming trend after that once we go into Tuesday through next week. All right, a lot of that to talk about in the deeper dive forecast, but for those of you in a hurry, here is your Krueger's Quickcast for your Thursday, May 8th. Here's a look at out the door this morning. Sunny skies here really across the board, with the exception of the coast. We're seeing some fog there, but that is expected to burn off most likely before the noon hour. So we've got high pressure building in. That's going to give us the mainly sunny skies over the next couple of days and the warmer temperatures. All of this activity here, you can see an area of low pressure, cooler air, that will eventually kind of be working its way down, but not until the end of the weekend and early next week. Get into that a little bit later here, but for today, there's the fog this morning for the coast. We may see some clouds developing for some of the higher elevations later this afternoon, but mainly sunny skies. You can see that fog burning off here for the coast before midday, but then more fog developing, especially around Humboldt Bay, Highway 101 corridor there overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. But today, yeah, lots of sunshine. Temperatures could touch 90 for some of the warmer spots in the valley, otherwise upper 80s. 70s and 80s for the higher elevations, and looks like in the upper 50s, maybe even some low 60s for some of the warmer spots there along the coast. Here's your 7-day forecast for the valley. So here's the overall trend. I do expect everyone mostly to stay dry through Sunday, including the valley. The peak will be Friday, Saturday with that warming trend. Big drop in temperatures on Monday with a chance for some light measurable rainfall. Not a lot of rainfall on Monday, folks. There's a look at your coast. And, you know, I've kind of backed off on the potential for showers on Sunday. If you see a stray sprinkle or light shower for the coast, inland Trinity County, don't be surprised, but I think the main event for everyone is going to be on Monday. After that, yeah, there may be a few showers trying to develop here through the afternoon hours for some of the higher elevations after Monday, but for the most part, a much drier trend in the forecast. All right, that's a look at your Krueger's Quickcast. Before we get into the deeper dive, I want to remind you that you have access to a 24-hour streaming channel from Weather NorCal. It's hyper local. And if you like weather, it's going to be a great resource for you. You can find it anywhere YouTube is available, including a smart TV with YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku. And by the way, stay tuned because we've got other platforms that the 24-hour streaming channel is going to be available. We've got things in the works. Very excited about it. But just search for Weather NorCal in YouTube and, of course, these apps here as well. And you are good to go, my friends. You're going to love it. All right, take a look at the big picture here with that ridge of high pressure right here. All of this colder air that's eventually going to be working its way here, but it's going to take a few days before that actually happens. So again, we've got that fog burning off by midday. By the afternoon, we're still seeing some of those afternoon clouds, especially for some of the higher elevations, but overall, a lot of sunshine today. There's that fog redeveloping tonight, especially around Humboldt County, along the coast there, working its way down into Highway 101. Otherwise, there you can see clear skies here for tomorrow morning. And then you can see by the afternoon, we are looking at Friday afternoon, More fog and clouds trying to develop here, looks like along the coast, but really not much in the way of that fog, although you can kind of see it starts to redevelop here as we go into Saturday morning. Still plenty of sunshine. So you get the idea. It's going to be dry and it's going to be warmer as we go into the next few days. Forecast model, for some reason, we're missing some of the cloud data. You'll see that disappear, but really just want to kind of show you where the chances for rain are. Here's through Sunday. There's that trough of low pressure beginning to dig over Northern California. This is the start of the cooling trend. Now, remember I mentioned we're backing off on the potential for rain. This is all very light, and the forecast models are all really backing off on that potential for Mother's Day, so it should be dry across the board. Then by Monday, remember it's talking about the clouds disappearing. Don't let that deter you here. Just want to kind of show you that we do have the chance for showers really across the board. But what you're noticing too, it's not very widespread, and even if it were widespread, it's very light. So that's why I don't expect a lot of rainfall out of this. But again, a bigger story here, this big trough of low pressure bringing in that colder air, much cooler for everyone across the board. Now, this particular forecast model, the American forecast model, is keeping it dry Tuesday, Wednesday, through all of next week, actually. But the European forecast model is a little bit more aggressive on at least the potential for some afternoon showers and possible thunderstorms, especially for Wednesday, Thursday, and even into Friday of next week. So one of those stay tuned type of forecasts if you have outdoor plans. As far as the Reading Rodeo is concerned, starting Wednesday, it'll be dry on Wednesday. And any chances for rain as we go into Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday of that next week, I'm not anticipating any rainfall. The chances are most likely going to be in the higher elevations. But again, it's one of those stay tuned. We'll take a closer look at that. So we look at the rainfall outlook through Wednesday. Now keep in mind, this says Wednesday. Wednesday is the first day of the Reading Rodeo. You're like, oh, look at the rain. No, keep in mind, this is a combination of today through next Wednesday. All right, so I think the main event, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be on Monday of next week. So with that said, I would say that we're anywhere from, say, a few hundredths to maybe upwards of a tenth of an inch of rainfall for parts of the valley.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. You're watching Coffee with Krueger, and sorry for getting a little late this morning. The internet's been going off and on here, and so it kind of messed up my system that kind of transitions for the live broadcast that I do here. So I had to do a reboot, if you will. Once I rebooted everything, everything was working beautifully, and here we are doing a live broadcast here, Coffee with Krueger. Now at 6:33 this morning, hoping to have a good start to your Thursday, hopefully better than mine. And like I said, the internet's been kind of off and on here. The more and more this happens, the more and more I believe that I need to get at least a backup or change internet service. I don't know. We're going to continue to see how much of a problem this continues to be, but what do you do? What do you do? All right. Well, what do you say we get right to it? Let's talk about, first of all, the Reading Rodeo. You know, some of you may have already been running into issues. For people who have been, getting into the contest or saying, I can't get tickets for the days that I want, or just tickets in general. It's hard to get. So you got to go to readingrodeo.com. In fact, yeah, I'll check that a little bit later, but they're going to be harder and harder to get. You can also call 530-241-8559. You can also go to weathernorcal.com and click on the Reading Rodeo icon that you see there, and that'll take you to the website as well. And by the way, speaking of Reading Rodeo and giveaway, yeah, I've got a ticket giveaway for next week. And right now I've got 3 sets of 2 tickets that I'm going to be giving away. So 3 different winners. I may have actually 4 sets. We'll see how that goes. But for now, it looks like it's 3 sets. And you can just send me an email to mkrueger@weathernorcal.com. Another easy way to do that is just by doing this. What you do is you go to, I'm already in there, so that's not a problem. Perfect. You go to weathernorcal.com. There's the website, right? Again, that's where you can go to get to if you want to buy tickets. Let's see how the tickets are right now. Let's go. I want to buy tickets, let's say, and let's see what days are sold out. Let's see here, the 14th through the 17th. We're going to go ahead and accept all. Select seats for Wednesday. Pick available seats. Let's see what we got here. Looks like, okay. Best available. I mean, we could go into this here. All right, I haven't really explored this much outside of just now, so it's going to take a little bit more time, but it looks like no seats available, no seats. Okay, we got some grandstand seats available, looks like on Wednesday. We got some seats available there as well. Let's see what else we got here. We can pick a day. Let's pick another day. How do we do that? Can we change the days? We can select a language. Maybe I have to go back. Oh, there we go. Then we can go to, oh my goodness. What am I doing to myself here? I'm making myself look bad. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. So it looks like okay, these are the tickets that are available now. Oh, here we go. This is where it says. So there are no tickets available for Friday night or Saturday night. So if you're hoping to get to the rodeo both of those nights, Friday and Saturday are sold out. So your best bet is going to be Wednesday. And let's see what Thursday looks like. You saw how many seats are available on Wednesday, which there really aren't a lot available. Pick available seats. Let's see what we got here. All right, we got some availability on Thursday. I think the weeknight events are not as quote unquote popular because I think people have to work the next day, and so they want to drink and have a good time, and they don't want to show up to work maybe having drank the night before. I don't know how all that works, but there you go. But anyway, as I was saying, if you want to enter into the contest, all you have to do is go here. Go to weathernorcal.com, and then right up here it says contact. You click contact, you fill out the form, name, email address, your message, such as I want to win tickets, whatever. Press send, and you are entered into the contest. I have been trying to respond to you all, just saying good luck or whatever, just so you know that I received your email, that you are in the contest, and you are good to go. So just kind of wanted to give you some information on that. So that is the ticket giveaway here. We got someone saying, if you're going to need a camera person, call me. Yeah, well, no. I'm going Thursday night with my son. So he's going to be my camera guy. I'm probably going to do a live, at least a Facebook Live there for a few minutes, having some fun with people and all that good stuff. Just kind of show you some of the activity and the action going on. And of course, the big nights on Friday and Saturday as well going on too. So should be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. Reading Rodeo is a big event for the rodeo. Lots of great events going on next week with the Asphalt Cowboys. They're going to be doing, of course, the robbery, right? And try to figure out where the loot is. And just an exciting time for Reading. You know, we had the Red Bluff Roundup a couple of weeks ago. Big event for Red Bluff. Now here we are, Reading Rodeo. Big event there as well. So that is also very exciting. All right, so we kind of went on and on about that. What do you say we get to... Oh, we don't have to do that. I didn't want to do that. I want to do that. We're going to keep it that way. We're going to go ahead and get you to Krueger's Quickcast for your Thursday, May 8th. This is just a quick look at your forecast for the day. For those of you that are in a hurry, I apologize for wasting your time with all that jibber jabber. I usually like to save that a little bit later. So out the door this morning, we do have some fog for the coast. That should burn off most likely before noon, but I think everyone else looking at sunny skies here pretty much all day long, although there may be some afternoon clouds for some of the higher elevations in particular. You can see the temperatures right now. Again, cold in some of the typical spots, especially in Alturas at 36. 46, though, for Susanville, 39 in Mount Shasta City. Upper 30s to around 40 in Trinity County, and upper 40s right now for the coast. Low to mid-50s for the valley. No big surprises there. So we've got high pressure that is pretty much the dominant feature here for today, tomorrow, and even into Saturday. And that's going to keep us dry. It's going to keep us warm. In fact, we've got a warming trend over the next few days. There's the fog this morning for parts of the coast. That will burn off by noon. There's the midday. By the afternoon, we're seeing some afternoon clouds. Even, look at that, even a shower possibly popping up in extreme eastern California, maybe near Alturas, but that should mainly stay in Nevada. Then, by the time we get into tonight, looking at clear skies, maybe some fog developing again, especially around Humboldt Bay. All right, so for today, mainly sunny. We're splitting hairs, right? 89. Pretty much 89 all the way from Reading all the way down. That is